Good evening, basketball fanatics. We're diving deep into the swirling vortex of NBA trade rumors, and tonight, we've got a blockbuster proposal that's got everyone buzzing. A potential swap that would send the Brooklyn Nets' athletic big man, Nic Claxton, to the Boston Celtics in exchange for the promising young guard Anfernee Simons. This isn't just about roster adjustments. This is about two franchises making pivotal, potentially franchise-altering decisions. The Celtics conundrum. A summer of tough calls, let's be brutally honest. This offseason has been a bumpy ride for the Boston Celtics. The lofty aspirations of a championship contender have been shadowed by the looming specter of the second apron. This financial constraint has forced their hand, leading to some incredibly difficult goodbyes. We've seen key figures like Kristaps Porzingis and Jrue Holiday, cornerstones of their recent success, shipped out in moves that felt less like strategic chess plays and more like desperate attempts to stay afloat. The Holiday trade, in particular, was a head-scratcher for many. While it brought in a talented young guard in Anfernee Simons, it felt like a move dictated by fiscal necessity rather than pure basketball synergy. And now, the whispers have grown louder. Simons, despite his undeniable talent, is likely on the move again. Why? To shed even more salary and give the Celtics some much-needed breathing room under that suffocating cap. The Frontcourt fissure. A void that needs filling with Porzingis and veteran Al Horford no longer donning the green, Boston's frontcourt has a gaping hole. The search for a suitable replacement has been relentless, a desperate plea for size, athleticism, and defensive prowess. This is where Nic Claxton enters the conversation. The Brooklyn Nets' agile center has been linked to Boston in recent rumors, and the idea of a straight-up swap with Simons is gaining traction as a move that could be mutually beneficial. But is it a slam dunk or a risky airball? The proposed exchange. A closer look at the deal. Let's break down the proposed trade package that could reshape the Eastern Conference landscape. Boston Celtics receive Nic Claxton, 2027 second-round pick, LAL, Brooklyn Nets receive Anfernee Simons. At first glance, this trade seems to offer something for everyone. From a financial perspective, it's a win for Boston. Claxton's cap hit of $25.3 million is lower than Simons' $27.7 million, providing that precious salary relief the Celtics so desperately crave. Plus, they snag a valuable 2027 second-round pick, a nice little bonus in a salary-dumping scenario. The Claxton factor. Unlocking untapped potential, but this isn't just about shedding salary. It's about acquiring a player who could profoundly impact Boston's fortunes. Nic Claxton, at 26 years old, is known primarily for his elite rim protection. His towering wingspan and incredible athleticism allow him to stand his ground against bigger players, making him a formidable defensive presence in the paint. He's a block machine, a shot disruptor, and a genuine deterrent for opposing offenses. What's often overlooked, however, is Claxton's offensive upside, a realm that remains relatively unexplored. As a rim runner, he possesses fantastic instincts, converting lobs and putbacks with ease. But here's where it gets interesting. He's shown flashes of a developing three-point shot. Could Boston, with their renowned player development program, unlock this hidden dimension of his game? Imagine a Nic Claxton who can stretch the floor, adding another layer to Boston's offensive attack. His arrival would be immense for Boston, especially considering their current center situation. With Neemias Queta currently projected to start, the addition of Claxton would provide an immediate upgrade, either as a dynamic starter or a crucial piece off the bench. Averaging 10.3 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 1.4 blocks per game last season, Claxton's production would be a welcome sight for a team hungry for frontcourt stability. And with 3 years left on his contract, Boston would have ample time to develop his talents and integrate him into their system, potentially aligning his peak with Jason Tatum's return from injury and the team's resurgence. Simons' sojourn to Brooklyn, a new beginning. On the other side of a ledger, the Brooklyn Nets would acquire a truly gifted guard in Anfernee Simons. At just 26 years old, Simons is an offensive dynamo, a player who can fill it up from anywhere on the court. His athleticism and long-range shooting are particularly noteworthy, making him a dynamic threat in transition and in the half-court. Last season, Simons showcased his scoring prowess, averaging 19.3 points and 4.8 assists per game in 70 appearances, shooting a respectable 42.6% from the field and 36.2% from three-point range. His preference for a fast-paced, high-octane offense could be a perfect fit for Brooklyn's system, especially alongside another offensive-minded player like Michael Porter Jr. This combination could create a truly potent backcourt capable of lighting up the scoreboard on any given night. Furthermore, the acquisition of Simons could give the Nets significant leverage in their ongoing contract negotiations with restricted free agent Cam Thomas. Simons, while being a reliable scorer, is also a comparatively better playmaker than Thomas. By adding Simons, the Nets could make Thomas somewhat dispensable, strengthening their negotiating position and potentially getting a more favorable deal. Another intriguing aspect for the Nets is Simons' expiring contract. This gives them options. If Simons thrives in Brooklyn and becomes an integral part of their plans, they can re-sign him. If not, they can simply allow him to walk next season, creating even more valuable cap space for future moves. It's a low-risk, high-reward scenario for Brooklyn, allowing them to test drive a talented guard without long-term commitment. The lingering question: Simons' uncertain future. While the trade offers tantalizing possibilities for both sides, Anfernee Simons' offseason trade saga has been a protracted affair, with no clear resolution in sight. Teams like the Bucks, Pistons, and Bulls have all been rumored destinations, but concrete deals have yet to materialize. This uncertainty places both the young guard and the Celtics in a precarious position. Boston's primary objective is to shed salary, and the longer they wait, the less value they'll likely get in return for Simons. This delay could be counterproductive for Simons' development, as he might end up joining a weaker team with less stability and a less defined role. It's a ticking clock, and every second that passes diminishes his trade value and potentially his future. The verdict: a risky endeavor with high rewards, this proposed trade is a fascinating chess match, a testament to the intricate dance between team needs, financial constraints, and player development. For Boston, it's a desperate attempt to find a true big man and shed salary, a move that could solidify their defense and provide a much-needed interior presence. For Brooklyn, it's a chance to acquire a dynamic young guard, bolster their offense, and gain valuable leverage in future negotiations. But like any high-stakes gamble, there's an inherent risk. Will Claxton's offense truly blossom in Boston? Will Simons fit seamlessly into Brooklyn's system? Only time will tell if this bold bet pays off, or if it leaves both teams wishing they had played it safe. What do you think, basketball fans? Is this the trade that propels the Celtics back to contender status, or is it a desperate last resort that could backfire spectacularly? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video if you want more in-depth analyses like this.